All right, we're live. Hey, everybody, what's up? This is Hernan Vasquez with Mastery PR and Semantic Mastery and a bunch of other companies. And we are here live today, and we have some really good stuff for you today, guys. I'm really excited to be part of this webinar, actually, because we have a super special guest today, and we have some really good stuff that we're pretty sure that you guys are going to love. But before going into that, I just wanted to welcome Chris to this webinar. How are you doing, Chris?
Hey, Hernan, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
I can't wait to see what Abbas has got for us.
Yeah,
I mean, I know some of it, but not all of it. Yeah,
100%. So yeah, you guys probably have been on a previous webinar with Abbas Ravji. He's a really strong developer. He's a really good marketer and entrepreneur, and I'm really excited to introduce him to you in case you haven't been here on previous webinars. So how are you doing, Abbas?
Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for having me. I'm doing great. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. And the reality is that we have some really cool stuff. So as you guys are coming in, we have this event page. So as you guys are coming in, just let us know on the event page that you can hear us all right, that everything is coming up nice and easy. Where are you joining from? You know, if you haven't been with MPR and Semantic Mastery for a while, if you guys are completely new to it, just let us know too, because we had a lot of people signing up for the list lately. So I'm really excited to see where you guys are from, and if you can see everything all right and whatnot. So just leave us a comment on the event page over there on Google+. And the reality is that Abbas is going to show you pretty much how to build any kind of audience and any kind of niche specific audience that we are trying to create, right, for different projects that we have, and from different websites and different clients even that we could potentially have, right? So with these techniques that Abbas gonna be sharing with us, the reality is that we can create a following in any type of niche and in any type of client that we're working with and whatnot, right? So the reality is that you can create a really strong social presence and a really strong presence and a really strong entity when it comes to your clients and when it comes to your own projects, you know, lead gen websites, and when it comes to your affiliate websites, and when it comes to your clients as well. So do you want to get a crack at it, Abbas, and tell us a little bit about what you have in store for us today? And then we'll go from there, sharing some examples and basically going back and forth.
Yeah, sure. Sounds great. Did you want me to share my screen and I can take it from here? I've got a few slides I've actually created, and then we can get straight into the actual demonstration of the software as well.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead.
Okay, brilliant. Right. Are you going to pass control over to me, or am I going to be?
I think that you can just share your screen. If you go to the left of your screen, there should be an icon that says share screen. Oh, yeah. And it should be logged on you already, so you should be good to go.
Okay, fantastic. You can see my screen clearly
now?
We can. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to minimize this, and I'm just going to open up the quick presentation that I've actually got. So hello, everyone, and thank you to the Semantic team for having me on board. I'm really stoked to be here. We've got some excellent stuff to share with you today as well, and I'm not going to bore you with loads and loads of slides. Just a few slides just to help me better explain exactly what I'm going to be presenting to you. So in today's webinar, I'm going to be showing you how you can build a niche-specific following in any niche quickly, easily, and fully automated. So the very first thing that I want to cover is why a social audience is important when you're working with these social media accounts. So we already know that syndicating content to social accounts. Oops, I don't know what's happened there. Can you guys still see my screen, or?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, I don't know what's happened to my presentation here. It's going to be 2 seconds.
No worries.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we already know that syndicating content to social accounts has a number of advantages. You're able to build authority links. You're able to boost your social signals. You're able to increase your rankings. You're able to get more exposure. And there's so many more benefits to actually syndicating your content to these social media accounts. However, not everyone gets to benefit from a certain side of social media that can actually provide you with many more benefits. And that's exactly what I want to discuss with you today. So to better understand exactly what I'm trying to explain, I want to ask a very quick question. Now, you don't need to answer the question because I'm going to be covering it anyway. but it's just to get our minds flowing in the direction that we're going towards. So the question is syndicating content to social accounts with a large following the same as syndicating content to accounts with little to no followers? So the answer is no. And basically, when you're syndicating relevant content to social accounts that have a large following, they'll provide you with a set number of benefits that you're not going to be able to get if you don't have a following with your social media accounts. So I just want to cover the benefits of having followers on your social media accounts, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to get everything automated. So syndicating content to social sites with followers provides a number of advantages. You're able to interact with followers and build a loyal audience. Followers will see your posts in their feeds when you make posts on your social accounts. Followers will click links and interact with your posts. Your account won't look as if it's built just for promotion, so it's not going to look spammy. Okay, and your accounts and posts will have more credibility. When you're making a post with an account that has 600 followers, it looks much more credible than making a post with an account that has like 2 or 3 followers. And there's so many more benefits to this as well. Okay, so having a follower base can actually get you instant traffic on demand. Now, what do I mean by instant traffic on demand? So having control over social accounts with large followings will allow you to make posts to them knowing that links are going to get clicked. It's going to allow you to control where the traffic will get sent to, and it provides you with a marketing channel, a new and unique marketing channel for your business to benefit from over and over again. Okay, so very quickly, I want to touch on the importance of traffic. So traffic is the backbone to any business. Without it, no matter how awesome your offer is, no one will be able to buy it if they can't see it. Okay, and when it comes to traffic, then we in-house personally, we use 3 main sources. We use SEO, we use email marketing, and we use social media marketing. All 3 of these sources have their pros and they have their cons. So for example, SEO takes time and it requires skill. Building an email list doesn't happen overnight. Okay, and building a social following requires time, effort, and work. But once you rank in Google and once you have an email list or a social following then you're going to be able to reap the rewards from this. So you're going to be able to get instant traffic on demand, and you're going to be able to get organic traffic sent from Google with your organic rankings after performing your SEO. And today I want to share a method with you that we've developed that will allow anyone to benefit from option 3, which is social media marketing. So let's just go through social media marketing like a pro. So we've already established that we need to have a good following because it provides us with so many more advantages. Okay, so in order to build a social following, we need to play an active role on these social media sites. This means engaging with followers, engaging with others, following, liking, retweeting, and performing a multitude of other actions on other people's content. You'll also need to post content yourself that others can engage with. And if you want to make your accounts niche specific, then it's very simple actually. All you have to do is follow users interested in your niche, retweet and like content that is in your niche, and even post niche specific content yourself. But the problem is that all of this can take time, it can take effort, and you know what, it's not very easy to get done. And that's why we came up with a brand new solution called SociBlitz. Okay, SociBlitz will nurture accounts, it will build niche specific followers, and once set up, it can be set to run 100% on autopilot. It will build advertising channels for your business that can be used to market to over and over again. SociBlitz has been sorry, I can't even see this part down here. Okay, SociBlitz has actually been in development for almost an entire year. We started developing this last year, guys, around, I think it was January, February time. So it might actually be over a year now. And we still have many more plans for it. I don't know what's happening to my computer at the moment, guys. Very sorry about this. Okay, so who wants to see SociBlitz in action? Is it okay to go ahead and actually show you SociBlitz working now and show you exactly?
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it actually.
Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so I'm going to try and move this place down here. Okay, so this is SociBlitz. At the moment, SociBlitz only works with Tumblr, Twitter, and Pinterest. And just before this call or just before this webinar, I was actually speaking to our developer, and we're looking to add Instagram in here as well. So Instagram is almost coded as well, guys. So I'm really hoping within the next month, maybe the next 2 months, we're going to have Instagram in here as well. Now, the cool thing about SociBlitz is it allows you to manage an unlimited amount of social accounts, okay, of these account types. So for Twitter, you can have as many Twitter accounts as you like. For Tumblr, exactly the same, and for Pinterest, exactly the same as well. And each one of these social accounts can be set up to work at specific and different time zones as well. So for example, I've got a bunch of accounts down here in this SEO1 group. This is my Twitter group. When you want to work with Tumblr, you work with the Tumblr tab, Twitter, the Twitter tab, and Pinterest, the Pinterest tab. Instagram's going to come along. You'll have Instagram in here as well. And all of these are actually being set to work with their own threads. So you've got full thread management in the back end as well. In fact, what I'll do, I'll actually go over to group actions, and I'll show you that we're actually got things working in here at the moment. I'm going to click on refresh. And as you can see, these are automatic actions that are happening in the background. So this is the nurturing process that's actually happening. So we've got Twitter accounts inside of here that are following users, that are unfollowing users, but I haven't actually got these to set unfollowings at the moment. I'll actually go through the settings in a moment. That are making tweets, that are retweeting posts as well, or tweets. They're liking tweets, and if we've set them up to reply, then they're replying as well. At the same time, we're also able to use these same accounts. Okay, before we go over to that, sorry, I've never actually done a live presentation on SociBlitz before. So if I'm jumping from one end to the other end, then you know what, I can only apologize and ask you to pardon me, and really hope that, you know what, you can follow along. But let me just take you along and show you exactly what you can do. So down here, I've got a group. I've named the group SEO1. I've got another group down here. I've named it SEO2. You can have unlimited amount of groups, and you can have an unlimited amount of accounts inside of them. Okay, and as you can see, I've got these checked down here. So that means these have been activated to work. And towards the very end, we've actually got a time section, so we can set each account to start at a certain time and to end at a certain time as well. Okay, what we can also do is we can add bit.ly links or bit.ly API keys, so that every time we share a link to these social accounts, we can automatically shorten those URL inside of bit.ly. In fact, in the members area, we show you how to use the one URL and tweet out or post out to all of your accounts without ever fearing linking your accounts. We use double redirects, and you know what, if you're interested in knowing on this call, then I'm happy to share that with you as well. But if not, everything is explained to you in the members area. Okay, so let me just show you exactly what happens down here. So for example, with Twitter, we've got an edit group section, and we can set our accounts to perform automatic actions. We can set them to perform automatic follows, and this can be done by adding or uploading a list of follow URLs. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can get this, because we've got another tool that complements SociBlitz totally perfectly. So you can add follow URLs inside of here and tell the software what profiles SociBlitz should follow for this group. You can tell the software how many times or when it should perform unfollows. So as you can see, we've actually got this set to 0 at the moment. You can tell the software if you should perform retweets, and when you're performing retweets, then you can actually load a list of URLs that you want to perform retweets with, or you can load a list of keywords, and the software will go out there every day and scrape Twitter based on these keywords, and then perform a retweet based on your settings down here. You can perform likes and you can perform tweets, replies. You can perform tweets, add your own CSV file with tweets and images, and you can perform tweets even without images if you don't want images in there. You can auto unfollow users. Now this one's a little bit different to the unfollow users down here. So this one here is saying automatically unfollow users after an X amount of days if they don't follow me back. Okay, but this setting down here, oops, let me just go down here. This setting down here says automatically unfollow users that are already following you, just to add a little bit of randomization inside of there. So maybe you have, every 4 days, unfollow someone that's already following you. Okay, and you can perform auto tweets as well. So let's just say, for example, you identified a Twitter account that performed excellent tweets. Maybe I don't know, a quote of the day every single day, and you wanted them to be added to your account, but instead of having them retweeted, you wanted them to be added to your account as if you have added the tweet yourself. So you can actually load the profile URL inside of here. The software will go out there, scrape the tweets, and automatically post the tweets on your account, you know, removing all @ mentions and hashtags and any links as well, as if you're making the post yourself. So this is the kind of control that you have on a group level basis, and every single action that we have has its own thread. As you can see, we've got 4 threads or 3 threads running up here, full thread control, and you have an inactive sessions tab as well. So let's just say, for example, one of your accounts had an issue, it wasn't able to retweet, and we tried to retweet 3 times. So instead of continuing to try and aggressively retweet, we make that inactive and put that in the inactive sessions tab, and we disable it from here, so that you can come along and you know exactly when any accounts require your attention or when they don't require your attention as well. But the really cool thing about SociBlitz that we liked and what we really wanted to put in there was a way to interact with these accounts on a manual basis as well. So it's very fun and very cool that all of these accounts, oh yeah, sorry, I'm on the inactive tab. So it's very fun and cool that all of these accounts are performing all of these actions. However, when we actually want to go and log into these accounts, then it means that we're going to have to use browsers and we're going to have to log into them, and we can cause unusual activity. So what we've done is we actually built in something known as an internal browser. So for example, if I click on here, this will automatically open up the account, and it will automatically be logged in for me because it uses exactly the same session. From here, I can perform manual tweets, I can navigate around from my account, I can browse, I can perform retweets as well, and I can also go over to a customized browser. This customized browser uses exactly the same sessions and exactly the same proxy that this account is behind. So let's just say, for example, you wanted to nurture your accounts inside of SociBlitz, and then you wanted to have them automatically posted to using if this then that and your own RSS feeds. Then you can actually come over to the customize tab, open up if this then that, and automatically link your Twitter account or your Tumblr account or your Pinterest account or your Instagram account or wherever accounts SociBlitz works with and supports, without ever having to log into your accounts as well. So it's really cool. It allows our accounts to remain active. We don't suffer issues of accounts being suspended and being closed down. Now, if you do suffer them kind of issues, then just remember, guys, it could be due to your actual you know, your settings down here. You might be following, I don't know, say 30 users every single day for 6 months, and you've suddenly created yourself a footprint. But I mean, if you actually have a look down here, you can actually see some dates down here. So the 7th of July 2017 is when we added these accounts. In fact, these accounts were added much before then, and the reason behind that is because we added this feature of when the accounts was added as a later update. And just to let you know as well, guys, SociBlitz has only been on sale for about 2 weeks now, or it was only released to our own subscribers 2 weeks ago. And since then, it's been closed down, and this is a private sale for the Semantic Mastery team. Okay, so any single one of these accounts. So let's say, for example, I'll go over to this account now. This account is automatically going to be logged in for me as well. I can see my followers. I can go over to my notifications. I can perform tweets and manual tweets. I can change my avatar pictures and all sorts, guys, all from within the one software without ever having to manually log in. And the really cool thing about this is you can actually export all of your accounts, and then you can re-import them accounts into any other computer that has SociBlitz working on there. And all of your sessions and your cookies and everything will remain intact, and it won't need to log in as well. Okay, so this is one area of SociBlitz, guys. Let's just go over to Tumblr as well, and let me show you what we can do with Tumblr. With Tumblr, I personally prefer working with expired Tumblr accounts. So we use things like Scrapebox. We go out there and scrape for expired Tumblr accounts that have high authority, high trust flow, high page authority, and then we actually use them and we post to them. So with Tumblr, we don't actually go out there and perform reblogs and likes and follows. However, there are strategies out there that do this, and because Tumblr does do this as well, and as mentioned, having a social account with followings is really cool and provides you with so many more advantages. We do have them in here as well. So with Tumblr, we can actually follow users, we can unfollow users, we can reblog, and we can like, and we can automatically post as well. Now, just remember, guys, this what I'm showing you at the moment are automatic actions. You can also perform manual actions. And now I'm not talking about the manual browser. I'm going to talk to you about how to perform, you know, posts to these accounts as well. how to use these accounts to your advantage, how to boost your own social signals up and everything as well. So I haven't even got onto that part at the moment. I'm going to get onto that in a moment. So yeah, with Tumblr, you can perform a number of actions. None of our accounts are actually set to be working at the moment, though. The time has actually started and ended. As you can see, 5:58 is when it ends, and it's like 8:50 at the moment. But yeah, you can set each account inside of your group as well to perform the follows or the unfollows or the reblogs or the likes exactly how you want. You're in total control. And with Pinterest, you can perform follows, you can perform unfollows, you can save pins, you can auto unfollow users, you can create pins, and you can auto create and save and save pins as well. So what this allows you to do is exactly the same kind of concept that we have with Twitter. You add the profile URL and it will go and scrape the tweet and post the tweet as if it was your own. With this here, you add your Pinterest URL, you add keywords, sorry, it will scrape Pinterest for the actual pins. It will go and take those pins and post them onto your account as if it's your own pin. Kind of a black hat area here, guys. Entirely up to you if you want to work with this or you don't want to work with this. But again, with Pinterest as well, you can go ahead and work with the manual browser. You can log into Pinterest and you can do whatever you want. As you can see, we're fully logged in here as well. And it's really cool, guys. It just makes it super duper easy and super simple to work with as well. Okay, so I'm going to close this down real quick. So yeah, we've got support for Tumblr, Twitter, and Pinterest at the moment, and we've got Instagram coming real soon. No limits to the amount of accounts that you can add inside of here. As you can see, we've got a bunch of accounts down here. You've got a full report viewing section down here as well. So if you've made any manual posts, so I haven't made any posts today. So what we'll do is we'll actually go over to say January and click on filter. So as you can see, we've got all of these posts down here that we've made through this on the manual basis, all the way from like January time when I've actually set the date from. Okay, so let me just show you something else that we can do down here. Okay, so just to let you know as well, guys, adding accounts is super simple. You can add accounts manually. You're able to add notes to accounts. So let's just say, for example, you had a phone verified account and it came with a telephone number. Then you can actually add notes down here. What you might actually see is that's exactly what I am using my notes section down here for. So these are all telephone numbers. If I ever am prompted by Twitter to, provide my telephone number or whatever, I add my telephone number in there. So everything's down here. In fact, you'll see we've got a section down here for trust flow and page authority as well. So the idea of SociBlitz was to allow you to manage your own expired network of social accounts should you wish to work on that manner, in which case you can add your trust flow figures down here. If you don't and you want to add brand new accounts and let SociBlitz nurture them and build them and have SociBlitz build them into authority accounts, then you can do that as well. Alternatively, guys, when you're working like me and you're going to be adding a bunch of accounts at the same time, then you can import accounts. Importing accounts is super easy and simple. We've got full video tutorials that show you how it's done. You can test your accounts, you can remove accounts. In fact, what you can do as well, guys, is when you have a bunch of accounts down here and you've got them all set to work in different time zones and different times, then you can actually click on active accounts, and this will tell you what accounts are actively working and performing actions because their time zone is kicked in and what accounts aren't. So as you can see from here, we've only got the one, and I believe I've done this, or we've got the two that aren't working and the rest of them are. And I believe I've done this just for the sake of this demonstration and this webinar. I was messing around with the timings. Okay, so yeah, it's really straightforward and super simple, guys. This is the main point that I want to bring over to you at the moment. You can test your proxies, you can test your accounts, and you can do all sorts. And if you get accounts and you want to change your avatars and you want to change it, the way your accounts look at anything, you can perform manual actions by looking at the internal browser. But let me show you what else you can do with this as well. So what I'll do for a demonstration purposes, I'll go over to the Twitter account. So with Twitter, as you can see, it adds up all of our stats. So it gets how many tweets each account's done, how many likes each account's done, how many we are following, how many followers we have, and towards the bottom it gives us a total figure. So this total figure here is going to be how many or what audience is going to be open to me when I make a post to all of these accounts. Okay, but what I can do at the same time is, let's just say, for example, I uncheck these and I select these 4 accounts here, or I can select them all, guys. I can click on this Actions tab now. Okay, I want to take this Actions tab here. And what I can do now is I can load a Twitter tweet URL in here. And I can say, with these 4 accounts that I've selected, I want you to follow this Twitter account that I've added inside of here. Or I can say, with these 4 accounts that I've selected, I want you to go and like this tweet. So it's going to go ahead and like the tweet with all all of these accounts. Or I can go ahead and say, well, you know what, with these accounts that I've selected from this section down here, I want you to go ahead and retweet the account. So what this allows you to do is have your one main Twitter account, for example, and then have these child accounts or have these whatever helper accounts, whatever you want to call them, and then go out there and give some more credibility to your own tweets and to your own you know, pins and whatnot, because it works with pins and it works with Tumblr. I'll actually take you over to that in a moment. In fact, you know what, if you want to go through some demonstrations towards the end of the presentation, then I'm happy to stay behind and actually show you some of these tasks working as well, and you know, really showing you how stable this is. But we actually have two methods down here for retweet. So we have a retweet, a standard retweet, and we have a retweet wheel. Let me just quickly explain what this is. So I'll add a tweet URL inside of here, and I'll do a standard retweet. What will happen is this Twitter account will come to this URL and retweet it. This second Twitter account will come to this URL and retweet it. This third Twitter account will come to this URL and retweet it, just as you would expect it to. A retweet wheel, on the other hand, what happens here is this first Twitter account will come to this URL that we've added and it will retweet it. This second Twitter account now will go to the retweet URL that this Twitter account tweeted, and it will retweet it. The third one will go to the retweet URL the second Twitter account retweeted, and retweeted that way. So it's kind of like a retweet wheel, which is exactly why we called it a retweet wheel. I didn't know what else to call it, to be honest. And you can do everything with all of the accounts. So with Tumblr, you can select a bunch of accounts, you can perform the actions, and then you can tell the software, okay, I want you to use these accounts that I've selected down here to go and follow this account, or to go and like this post, or to go and repost. Now, when I say repost, it should be a reblog down here, because Tumblr has reblog, and it does exactly the same. So you got a reblog standard and you got a reblog wheel as well. Exactly the same concept. With a standard reblog, it's going to reblog the same URL that you're adding down here, but with different accounts. With a repost wheel or reblog wheel, it's going to reblog the first URL you add, but then for the second account, it's going to be using the first account, the third account is going to be using the second account, and so forth. Okay, with Pinterest, it's a little bit different though. With Pinterest, we have a few extra actions. So for example, we've got two tabs in Pinterest. We can create boards. So for example, you can choose all of these accounts and you can add boards down here, one per line, and have a bunch of boards created. So you're fully priming your account, you know, really quickly before you go ahead and intervene with a manual browser and make your edits, or, you know, whatever your preferred method is going to be. And then you've got other actions as well. So you can go ahead and you can follow profiles that you add down here, or you can repin pins that you add down here. I believe they're saving, not repins now. So yeah, when we have Instagram down here, then we're going to have all of the actions for them as well. So each social account has been coded for whatever it supports. And that's what you're going to be finding coming with other social accounts as well. So when other social accounts are supported on this, we're going to be performing the automatic actions, which is going to be performing all the nurturing for you, and building up all of your followers that you see down here. And also at the same time, you're going to be able to use things like, you know, however other methods you want to be posting to them, whether it be if this then that, or whether you want to be using the project manager, or whether you want to be, you know, mixing and, you know, adding your own, sorry, I should be going down to edit group, mixing and adding your own tweets inside of here as well. So, I mean, some of my accounts, the way we started them was we were importing a CSV file of tweets. Maybe 4 tweets would have no link. The 5th tweet would probably have a link, and the next 4 tweets won't have a link, and the 6th tweet, and I don't know, the 10th tweet will have a link or whatnot. So everything was getting mixed out. There was another account that we had, and we just imported a file with all of our video URLs, YouTube video URLs, and we were just embedding all of our videos over all of our accounts. And what it was doing 2 things. It was getting us video views, and at the same time, it was allowing us to nurture our accounts by us adding tweets onto them, which was embedding videos, and they look really, really cool. Okay, let me show you what else you can do as well. So you've got a project manager and you've got a post manager as well. So your post manager allows you to post to all of these accounts that you have, and you can post whatever you want with a delay and whatnot. Okay, and your project manager allows you to add the content that you'd like to post when working with a post manager. So let me just give you an example. So in the project manager, you've got general projects, Twitter projects, and Pinterest projects. Okay, now general projects is for like blog posts, which is really at the moment only Tumblr. Twitter projects is for Twitter, and Pinterest projects for Pinterest, and we're going to have Instagram. Maybe Pinterest and Instagram can be shared. If not, we'll have another section down here for Instagram. Now you can add separate projects, so add a Tumblr project, you can add your Twitter projects, and you can add your Pinterest projects as well. When you add Tumblr projects or Twitter projects, you can add normal tweets, you can add image tweets, or you can add video tweets. In fact, I've actually got some opened and created down here. So let me just show you. So on this one, we've actually got some image tweets down here. If I hover over this, you can actually see the images down here. And if I click on them, you can actually see the actual tweet that's going to be getting sent out with the image that we're going to be posting as well. Okay, what you can do then is after you've had and built all your projects, so there's a number of ways you can build these projects, guys. You can import from, let's just have a look. You can import from CSV file. You can add projects manually. You can import from, you know, text files. You can add your videos, one per line in here as well. So it's really simple, it is straightforward and very easy. And once you've added all your content in there, it actually tells you down here. So for example, this project here doesn't have any text posts, it doesn't have any video posts, but it tells you it does have 7 image posts though. So it's very easy for you to quickly have a look at a glance and see exactly what projects have how many posts or whatnot you. Okay, and when it comes to posting is really good. And the reason I really like the posting feature is because it's totally multi-threaded and it allows you to post to multiple groups at the same time with multi-threaded as well, all posting different projects. So let me just give you an example of this. So I could have, let's just say, let's work with Twitter, for example. So I could say, yes, okay, I want to work with this Twitter account. I'm going to click on there and I'm going to say, okay, for the Twitter project, for this account or for this group, I want to post this project, and this project, I want to be using the image post. Okay, so I can set this Twitter group to post this project, and I want to make an image type of post. We can choose video, image, or text. Okay, and at the same time, I can say I want to post this group as well, but with this group, I want to be posting this, and this is just a text post. Okay, I can tell the software how many posts to make per a group. Okay, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see this in brackets, but it actually tells you how many active accounts we have in there. We've got a bunch of delays down here. We can actually select all of these guys, set all of these to work with different projects, have all of them posting different projects at exactly the same time with the delays of our choice. Now, I've had delays in here of, you know, minutes and minutes, guys, and posted, you know, hundreds of tweets and hundreds of posts, which has taken like, you know, 15 hours. And you can do that with the delays. Alternatively, you don't even have to use this section. You can go ahead and use the auto posting features. And the really cool thing about SociBlitz as well, guys, is we designed it so that it wouldn't disrupt your day-to-day activity. So for example, when you've got SociBlitz working, you can actually click the X button there and it's going to be minimized to your system tray, and you can continue to do whatever you're doing without being disrupted whatsoever. And one thing that I really like about SociBlitz, to be totally honest with you, is it does all of the nurturing. So once you've set it up, once you've added in your details inside of here, you're able to go ahead and forget about it for a week or 2 weeks, come back to it after a week or two and say, well, you know what? I think I've got some good followers now. I think I'm ready to go out there and start posting my links. But let me just quickly show you over to the companion that we have with SociBlitz. It's called the SociBlitz Harvester. I really hope I'm not going too fast for you guys.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so this is a SociBlitz Harvester. It comes with SociBlitz, and you'll be using the Harvester to go out there and scrape for the kind of followers that you want to go and have your accounts follow. You're going to be able to go out there and scrape for the kind of tweets that you want your accounts to go and retweet or whatnot. So in fact, what I'll do, I'll actually take you through some of the features down here and show you what we can do with this. So as you can see, we've got Tumblr, we've got Twitter, we've got scrape images, and we've got Pinterest as well. And we're going to have Instagram come here as well, guys. I don't want to focus too much on Instagram because, as mentioned to you, I only spoke to my developer today, but the good news is that we have already managed to, you know, code a lot of it, and I am really optimistic that it's going to be coming really, really soon. But you know what, just so that nobody holds me against my word, and if it does take a little bit longer, I don't want you guys to make your decision based on us adding Instagram, but for what you see in front of you today. Okay, so with Tumblr, you're able to harvest likes, you're able to harvest reblogs, and you're able to harvest followers. Now, when we say harvest, then it means you're able to scrape. So you're able to add keywords inside of here, and you're able to add, I don't know, let's just say, for example, it was the crypto niche, and you had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and let's say Neo. You can add all your keywords inside of here and tell it to go and harvest posts that are related to these keywords, and then save them for you as a list. And that list is then going to be used inside of SociBlitz, which you're going to be adding inside of, let's say, for example, your Tumblr account, and you're going to be telling the software, okay, these Ethereum and these related posts that I've just scraped inside of the SociBlitz Harvester, I want you to go and like them or retweet them, or I don't know, reblog them or whatnot, you at the rate of 1 reblog per day and whatnot. You know, you've got so many settings down here. Okay, and at the same time, it also allows you to add URLs as well. So you could add a URL of a blog, okay, and you could go ahead and say, okay, I've added a URL of a Tumblr blog now, and I want you to go and scrape the top, I don't know, say 15 or 20 pages of that blog, and it will go ahead and scrape all of the URLs of that blog for you. I actually use this feature quite a lot, and I'll tell you why. Let's just say, for example, you found a Tumblr account that had some really awesome images in your niche. What you could do is actually get the Tumblr URL, add it down here, scrape all of the Tumblr URLs for that blog, come over to the scrape images section, import those Tumblr URLs inside of here, and go and scrape all of their images, and then go ahead and use those images inside of your own social accounts. Now, it's entirely up to you if you want to follow my, you know, what I've just said. I'm not saying it's advice, because it is black hat. And you know what, however you want to do this is entirely up to you. But what I'm trying to show you is that, you know what, you've got a multitude of tools in front of you that are going to allow you to work with this in any way you want. And I'll show you some really cool ways of working with this in a moment as well. Okay, you're also able to go and harvest blog URLs from a post URL. So what this means here is when you go over to Tumblr and you have a look at a Tumblr URL, you'll see it has a notes section. In the notes section, it'll say this blog liked this post, or this blog reblogged this post. And sometimes you can have thousands. So what you can do is actually add those post URLs in here and harvest and scrape all of those accounts. And if you want to go ahead and scrape not safe for work related products, then you're going to need to log into Tumblr. So in which case you can actually log into Tumblr as well. Okay, let me just take you over to Twitter as well. Twitter is really cool because it has some extra settings inside of it as well. Okay, so with Twitter, you can harvest tweets. So this is actually URLs of tweets. You can harvest profiles. So these are actual URLs that you can go ahead and follow. And you can harvest hashtags as well. You can harvest tags with Tumblr as well. Okay, what you could also do as well, and this is where the real, you know, you can say kind of like proper targeting comes in, is you can load URLs in here of Twitter accounts now. So for example, you can load a profile of, let's just say, for example, one of your main competitors was SEMrush, and you knew their Twitter account had, I don't know, 50,000 followers, and they were very active followers because they were performing retweets and all sorts of actions on SEMrush's tweets. You could actually, you could add SEMrush's profile inside of here and tell the software to go and scrape all of the followers that are following SEMrush. Okay, and then you could go and use all of those followers that the harvester scraped, add it inside of SociBlitz, and know that you're creating a very, very targeted SEO niche specific list. Okay, and you're able to do this because you're only harvesting the profiles of a certain follower, and you can actually add maybe 15 or 16 profiles in here. And you know, we've harvested over 400,000 on this, guys. You can add like, you know, 500,000. There are no limits on this. And just keep it running overnight, and maybe even 2 nights or 3 nights. We have a VPS. If you guys have a VPS, then you know what, we actually have this running on a VPS all the time. At the moment, it's not running on the VPS because I'm running it here. But yeah, this is where we normally have it running on a VPS. Okay, and you will need to log in when you're harvesting and scraping someone's followers URL. But as noted, guys, with a regular standard 5-second delay, we've done over 400,000 following, you know, scraped from URLs with the one account, and we haven't had any issues. Okay, what you can also do as well is you can harvest all tweets. So let's just say, for example, you found an account and you wanted to go ahead and harvest all of their tweets, all of their tweet URLs. You can go ahead and do that here as well. Add their account down here, select this checkbox down here, and it'll go and harvest, and it'll go and harvest all the tweets for you. Now, let's just say, for example, you added keywords inside of here, but you wanted to go and harvest tweets, but only image tweets, then you can do that, or only video tweets, then you can do that as well. In fact, a new feature that we only just added, only very recently, guys, was the ability for you to add keywords, and then the software will go out there and it will visit Twitter. It will do a search for your keyword. It will go and scrape the tweets. But what it will do, it will go and visit the tweets and scrape all of the text. And it will save those texts for you, which you can then use to prime your Twitter accounts, because you're going to be wanting to add tweets into your Twitter accounts. Not all tweets are going to be added in there with URLs in there, because you're going to be wanting to nurture them. In fact, you know what? We actually provide you with some guidance. The very first few links that you should be actually adding out from your Twitter and that account will be authority tweets or authority links like Wikipedia or an authority in your niche, just to nurture it and give the right kind of signals and not give the wrong signals from the get-go. So yeah, you can do that here as well. And this again, it will strip out at mentions and URLs and hashtags, so that you're ready to go as well. What you can do as well to even fine-tune your following and your account nurturing even more is you can say, okay, I want you to go ahead and harvest profiles that I want to follow, but only harvest these profiles if the profile has an avatar, or if the profile has above, let's just say 30 followers, or if the profile has made a post in Twitter within the last 30 days. Okay, doing this will give you fewer results, but it will give you more active accounts to go out there and actually follow. In fact, what you could do, guys, is add a number of URLs to go and scrape all of the followers, do some comparisons, and you know what, really, target your niche in such a way that, it would be very difficult to do otherwise. And then have SociBlitz go ahead and automate absolutely everything for you. And as mentioned, a lot of the actions can be done from the harvester, but at the same time, there are features inside of SociBlitz, for example, if I go over to Twitter, whereby you can add keywords. You can add keywords here as well. And what this will do is it will automatically go ahead and scrape Twitter from within SociBlitz on a daily basis to make sure you've got the fresh tweets being added to your account, as opposed to tweets that you might have scraped from inside of here, and you're only liking or retweeting a few every single day, but you scraped thousands and thousands. So it isn't a good idea to have old tweets that you keep liking and retweeting. So we actually added that feature inside of SociBlitz, so to make sure you got a way to add only and retweet and like only fresh tweets. Okay, let's go over to Pinterest. With Pinterest, exactly the same. You can harvest pins, you can harvest profiles. So again, everyone's URLs, everyone's followers of followers. You can harvest boards. So let's just say, for example, you wanted to go and find board names and whatnot, and you can harvest followers of a user. Sorry, you can harvest followers here from keywords and harvest followers of a user here. As you can see, URL means you need to add the profile down here. You can harvest all boards of a user or a profile, and you can harvest all pins of a profile as well. And when you're scraping images, you can tell the software the dimensions that you want, the type of format of the image that you want, and it does a really good job, and it is really quick. And you know what, we can actually go over this if you want to, but if not, then we've got everything in the members area. Hanan and Chris, I don't know if I've gone super duper fast or not. I think
that went really well, and I want to really appreciate you, Abbas, because of the rundown of the tool. I've been working with it and playing with it a little bit over the past couple of days, and it's really powerful, and you have a lot of stuff in it that will make things so much easier. We do have some questions, so we can answer them in a little bit. But first, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit from our own perspective and how you would go ahead and do this for maximum impact, if you would, right? So the reality is that, we are always hammering down home the importance of creating entities. And not only you can use SociBlitz to get a truckload of traffic and really targeted traffic, but you can really create super powerful entities. And by entities, I mean, you know, as Abbas was correctly saying when he started his presentation, was the fact that when you're syndicating out to an account that has 0 followers, or it has you know, super low clout, it's not the same as having, you know, a couple, even a couple hundred followers. The reality is that most people on earth that are actually sharing, and most of your clients and people that could potentially, you know, go ahead and purchase your product, or if you're pushing Amazon affiliate, whatever you're doing, they don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, right? They will have a couple hundred. They will, you know, share stuff here and there. So that's the normal interaction. So I love the way that this is set up, in a way that you can actually solidify that entity. And we know for sure that, you know, Google loves Twitter. In fact, every time you post something on Twitter, you know, we use Twitter to index, we use Twitter to increase the relevance of videos. So Twitter is like, you know, a secret weapon of ours that we use time and time again. So imagine this, imagine you coming up with a promotional video for a client, and then the video has a lot more weight to YouTube and Google, because you're syndicating out, but you're also using SociBlitz to actually share it and push it and have commentary on it, right? So that has a lot of power. The reality is that you can begin, you know, today or tomorrow, to really develop, and by an asset, I mean you can develop really strong and really, you know, aged social accounts that could really help you push in not only rankings, but also traffic, like real human traffic. So there's so many layers of, you know, and there's so many layers of benefits that you can get by using this tool. And I think that Abbas made a great job by adding, you know, a couple of features like the internal browser. Some of the stuff that we have when we're doing syndication network is the reality is that the fact that, you know, some people will, some accounts will get shut down because you send it to a VA, and then you will log into a different IP, or it will trigger re-verification, whatever. And that's completely done and solved because of that internal browser, right? That it will respect the user agent, it will respect the interaction, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, that's one of the things. The other thing is the scheduler, of course. And the reality is that most of the people that comes to us to Semantic Master, and they're using tools, you already have BPSs, right? You already have proxies, and you can use them additionally with SociBlitz, and, you know, it wouldn't go ahead and increase the fixed cost that you're going. All that you're doing is to add another tool to your arsenal to go ahead and really, you know, go deep into social interaction and whatnot. I know that a lot of people are using this tool. Like I personally know a lot of people that are using this tool to push link shoes, to push relevance on YouTube videos. For YouTube videos, it works amazingly well because, you know, YouTube, if you mix this with, you know, a little bit like a $2 a day AdWords campaign, and SociBlitz and Video Powerhouse, for example, you can get a lot more mileage out of it. So I think it's pretty cool, and I really wanted to appreciate what you have done this with this tool, because it's really, really good.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thanks a lot, Anand. Just a few more things that I want to cover on this dashboard as well. It's really cool because it actually tells you. So where it says 0 of 6, it tells you that, you know what, in total we've got 6 Twitter accounts, but 0 of those accounts are actually active. Where it says 40 or 48, then it's saying, you know what, we've got 48 accounts in here, and 40 of those 48 accounts were active. So it's really good. It's very user friendly as well, and I can really see users that do pick this up and do start to work with this. I can really see this becoming an asset for their business. So Hanan, I've actually got a few more slides I just want to cover. Would it be a good time to cover that now, or?
Yeah, 100%. Go ahead. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, if you guys have any questions, I know that some of you guys are already asking questions. David, Scott, we will jump into those once Abbas is done. So if you have additional questions, just go ahead and put them on the, you know, on the events page. Just drop a comment and we will address them at the end of the webinar. So go ahead.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I've got some FAQs that I've put in here as well, just to, you know, the kind of FAQs that we got asked by our own customers as well. Cool. So what can SociBlitz actually be used for? So you can use it to promote your own products and offers, and to build a targeted list. You can use it to increase hits to your own sites or to your videos, and you can boost engagement for your own videos. You can boost views for your YouTube videos and for your clients as well. You can get links from these social accounts. You can index pages, you can boost social signals. In fact, you might actually find many of these social accounts will actually get indexed before your own sites, which will then send over the indexation for your own sites as well. You can build affiliate stores. You can build made for AdSense sites, and you can send the traffic from these social accounts to them as well. You can create social buzzes, and you can control social buzzes as well. I mean, just imagine if you had an army of 100 Twitter accounts and you were targeting, and you wanted to create a buzz in a city like Peterborough. I mean, Peterborough is a pretty small city. Now, if you had 100 Twitter accounts creating a buzz or a hashtag around certain cities and areas, which, I'm sure you guys probably know of many of these techniques and tactics anyway, then you know what, you're going to know exactly how you can get these and put these to use for you. You're going to be able to boost social signals and get authority links. You can increase exposure and boost rankings. You can manage expired social authority networks. You can sell social syndication. You can sell social syndication signals and links as a service. And there's so much more as well. So coming over to the cost, guys. So I just want to very briefly make notes that even though SociBlitz has been in development for almost an entire year, it's still in pre-release. So what this means is that we have many more sites that we still want to add. We had a vision for SociBlitz when we actually started developing it last year. As you know, it's been a whole year. It's stable with the current sites, and we want to give you guys the opportunity to take advantage of the sites that we have in there at the moment. So we do have plans to add more sites and more features that we want to add in this. But it also means by you getting involved in pre-release stage, then you can get a copy of SociBlitz at a very highly low and reduced price. Okay, and I'd like to also point out that there's currently no other way of getting access to SociBlitz other than this special offer that we've put together for the Semantic Mastery team. So if you go over to the SociBlitz site or anything like that, you're not going to be able to get access. So you're only going to be able to get access via this webinar, guys, and the link that the Semantic Mastery team is going to be sharing with you. And with your purchase today, you're going to be getting access to both SociBlitz and the SociBlitz Harvester. They're both of the softwares that I just demonstrated to you. Okay, and this includes all future updates that we release, including new sites and features that we add to both of the tools, the SociBlitz and the SociBlitz Harvester. And the price, let me just move this out of there. Okay, and the price that you pay today will never increase. It will never increase for you, no matter what price increases we may have to this in the future. And you actually have two options to select from. We have a monthly price and we have an annual price for SociBlitz. The annual price actually works so much cheaper. So if you are really considering this, then do consider taking out the annual one as well for best savings. And in fact, guys, we're so confident that you're going to like SociBlitz that what we've done for you is we've included a 7-day trial. So this means there's absolutely no risk on your part whatsoever to try it. Take it away for 7 days, have a look through the video tutorials, order your accounts, start building up your scraping lists, and you're going to be totally ready to start working with SociBlitz as well. So you can get this and you can secure a copy from this URL here, which is masterypr.com/SociBlitz. Before you go over to the site, I actually want to go over the site with you as well, because it is actually a sales page, and it wasn't actually designed to send over webinar traffic. But what you'll see on here, you might want to spend some time on here as well, is towards the top, you'll actually see a case study of me doing a video, and within 12 hours, me getting 630 unique visitors, and this was using SociBlitz alone. Okay, you can come down here, guys. This is when the offer for the Semantic Mastery team will be closing. So please try and make your decision by this time. You actually get to read more about SociBlitz, find out what kind of things SociBlitz can do for you as well. You actually get to see a demonstration of SociBlitz, which you might not want to see because you've seen everything in action in this webinar anyway. Coming over to the features of SociBlitz, guys, I just in case I've missed some of them when I was showing you the actual demonstration. So every account can be shortened and linked to bit.ly, so you can have every account you know, when you're posting any link, being automatically shortened with bit.ly, so you're never linking your accounts. Every account can be set to work in their own time zones. So you can set some accounts to target USA traffic, some accounts to target, I don't know, UK traffic, and some accounts to target French traffic and whatnot. Okay, you got advanced manual interactions with your manual internal browser, which I've mentioned to you. You get group-based logic for grouping niche specific accounts. Anyway, guys, there's quite a lot on here. You can come along and you can read it. You'll see that we have the 3 Tumblr accounts. We have the 3 accounts down here that we support down here as well. But when you come over to the payment section down here, guys, as you can see, you've got a 7-day trial for and then $14 a month thereafter, or you got a 7-day trial and $97 a year thereafter, which works out to be around $8 a month. And when you actually click on add to cart, then we're using a company called Pay Kickstart. They're very reputable, guys, but it's just a brand new company that we're using. And you'll be able to see down here that for the first 7 days, you'll only pay $1. And after the 7 days, it'll tell you what your price will be on an annual basis or on a monthly basis. Okay, so there's a few more questions that I just want to cover, guys. So let me just go back over to this presentation and let me just show you. Oops. There's a few frequently asked questions. Okay, so this is the URL here. I don't know if Hanan wants to share this with you guys in the chat area. So you can go ahead.
I already did. It's on the events page, guys. So it's masterepr.com/SociBlitz, and it's already on the comments. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. So some of the questions that we normally get asked is, are there any more expenses? So the very first thing is, when we're working with multiple social media accounts, we want to try and narrow our footprints. We want to narrow our tracks and really hope these accounts last us as long as they can. And as you can see, you know what, I've got accounts in here with 600, 700, 800. I think I've even got accounts in here with, 1,000 followings down here somewhere. If we go through them, there we go, even a few with 1,700 followers. So you know what, we want these accounts to last. So what we do is we use proxies for these accounts. I would say limit your accounts to maybe 2 accounts per proxy. But because this works with 3 social accounts and maybe 4 coming very shortly, then that means you're going to be, for the one proxy, you're going to be able to have 2 Tumblr accounts, 2 Twitter accounts, 2 Pinterest accounts, and 2 Instagram accounts. And you know what, you might even be able to get away with more as long as you're working in different time zones. But yeah, if you already have proxies, maybe you already work with proxies, then you know what, you're going to be good to go. As long as they're anonymous proxies, then you can just use them anyway, and you don't have to go out there and get any more proxies. Other expenses can also include social accounts. So let's just say, for example, you don't want to go out there and manually create the social accounts for you. You can actually go out there and use some recommended vendors that charge from 50 cents onwards. You can maybe use other companies as well that might mature or nurture the accounts for you in a way. Whatever you want to do, guys, you know what, you can pick them up for as low as 50 cents, really depending on where you go and what kind of accounts they are. Some vendors are going to be providing different services, and some vendors are going to be providing, and they're going to be going the extra mile and linking them up for you. So it's entirely up to you. But yeah, if you can't create the account yourself, then you will need to pick up the accounts. If you want to have this running 24/7, based on the time zones that you choose, then it's advisable to work with the VPS. If not, then you can work with your own computer, have it when your computer starts and close it when you finish, or whatnot. Okay, and some of the future plans for SociBlitz, I just want to cover this, guys, because I did mention that it is in pre-release. We do have a dedicated developer for this as well, and he works on this every single week. And since releasing it last week to our subscribers, I think we've already had like 3 updates to this. Okay, so we plan to add more sites. We plan to add more features to the software as well. As mentioned, Instagram is already being looked at and it's already being worked on. We also plan to add new features such as link wheels, indexing features. We're also planning to add support for working with feeds and for auto syndication, sending automatic greetings and welcome messages to users that follow you, and you know what, there's a bunch of other things that we have planned for this as well. So what you see at the moment is the very early days for SociBlitz, and it would be a great time for all of you guys to get involved. And you know what, we're so confident in you guys liking what we've made that you know what, we're actually offering you a 7-day trial as well. And I'll actually show you the tutorials page as well. We've got a bunch of tutorials so that you don't go away empty-handed. Sorry, without knowing what to do.
Yeah, and I think while you type in that, apps. I think that the tutorial side of things now, myself that I'm a complete newbie on the tool, I got it running like immediately. So I think that you have made an amazing job when it comes to the actual tutorial. They're really, really in depth, and they walk you through the entire tool. So that will save you a lot of time trying to figure it out all by yourself. I think that's one of the best things that I got to experience as a user with the tool.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to actually understanding the tool, I do highly recommend that you do take out some time, maybe even, half a day, a quarter of a day, just to understand exactly the power behind the tool. Come along, view the video tutorials. I try my best not to baffle on. And you know what, even view them at 2 times the speed, whatever it's going to be, whatever you can actually manage with the speed of my voice. But what I do assure you is that, once you understand the tool, it's going to make it so much easier for you to work with. And once you've understood the tool, then it's going to be making it much more quicker for you to create accounts and add groups and, get everything properly nurtured and everything for you. I mean, I was only actually speaking to one user today, and he was like, yes, Abs, you know what, I've set up my accounts, I've set up my groups, I've done all my scraping, and I'm going to leave SociBlitz working on my server for 2 weeks. I'm not going to even go back to it. After 2 weeks, he's going to go back and decide what to do with the social media accounts that SociBlitz has been nurturing for them or for him. So yeah, I mean, we give you all of the video tutorials and everything as well. So you know what, you're going to know exactly how to start working with this.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool, Ab. So
fantastic.
Yeah, so really, really cool stuff. So anyways, guys, the link is there. And we also wanted to add that by getting SociBlitz over the next, I think, 6 days, which is the promotion, what it lasts and what Abs has graciously agreed to have the trial open, because again, this is a closed promo, okay? You cannot get this anywhere else. If you go to the website, it's going to be closed. So you need to go through that. And you also have a full 7-day trial to test it out, to test drive it. And with the tutorials, that makes it super easier. But not only that, we are ready to throw in a bonus, which is our renowned bonus website, which you will get a lot of tutorials and a lot of webinars that we are charging $200, $300, $400 for those webinars, which Marco made a little while ago. So all you need to do is to get a copy of SociBlitz and then email support. And then we will give you access to that bonus website, which is north of $497. You get it for free. And we are constantly adding value. We're constantly adding new videos and new stuff, new tutorials to that website as well. All right, guys? So not only you get all of that, but you also get the real technical and the behind the scenes of everything that we're doing in terms of how we solidify the entities with social media, and SociBlitz makes it so much easier. So we had a couple of questions from the audience, if you don't mind, Abs, answering them.
Yep, sure.
So David here was asking, what type of proxies can be used as scrape proxies? Do you have to keep accounts linked to the same proxies?
Yeah, I mean, with the when you're working with social media accounts, then you don't always want to change your proxies because it's going to prompt unusual activity. So what we do is we work with squid proxies, private elite proxies that don't change. We tie the proxies to our Twitter accounts, and we never ever go out there and change the proxies ever again. It's as simple as that, really. We don't change the proxies ever. If we have to change the proxies because maybe the proxies died or because we've changed suppliers, then it's as simple as just changing the proxy over. And the cool thing about it is that the software is still going to try and use exactly the same session. So it just looks like you know what, you're using the same computer. You've just had an IP change. Maybe, you know, your ISP provider has changed your IP, or you're on a dynamic IP or whatnot. But yeah, we just buy anonymous elite proxies and we tie them to the social accounts, and that's about it.
Yeah, and I definitely would recommend the same. Like, I personally wouldn't use the scrape proxies because usually, you know, if you have scrape box running, they usually, you know, they get burned really, really fast. So I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and get, you know, a handful of cheap proxies, maybe 10, 20 proxies. And I know that most people are already getting proxies, so you can use those same proxies. They can be shared or they can be private, whatever you want to do. But But yeah, that's definitely the case. And I know that many of you guys are using proxies anyway. So this is another way of getting more mileage out of your proxies and your VPS that you're already using for Scrapebox and other tools, right? So Scott is asking, do you plan on adding Facebook to SociBlitz?
We haven't discussed Facebook. There is no initial plan to add Facebook at the moment. As mentioned, we're looking at Instagram. In regards to how far we've got with Instagram at the moment, I believe we've got the following, we've got the liking, we've got all the features done. The only feature that we haven't been able to implement at the moment is uploading pictures, which is obviously a key area. And our developer is working on that. With Facebook, I really don't know if we're going to even look at it, to be honest, because I've tried to have different Facebook accounts in the past using Firefox profiles, not even having like something like SociBlitz or anything automated. And as soon as I've used proxies, I get banned from Facebook with my first login. So I don't know what it is with Facebook, what kind of anti-spam measures they use, but we certainly haven't fully understood them yet. So until we can totally fully understand what's going on with Facebook, if it's the proxies that are causing issues or what it is, then no, you know what, we don't have any plans with Facebook. But we have had some suggestions from our users already that do want it. We do see the need, but as mentioned, I can't even get a second account myself, even using Firefox profiles and, you know, a legitimate number.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think other tools are having that exact same problem with Facebook. They seem to be really, really strict on the accounts. It must be the IPs. Yeah,
and the reality is that not only that, but the reality is that unless you're posting from a public page, Facebook is really adamant, and it's really like, it's really, how would I put it? It's really private when the user data, right? So everything is behind a password. And if you're using Facebook for, you know, with SEO purposes, that's kind of hard because actually they don't get along. You know what I'm saying? Even unless you have like a public profile or a local website, you know, and you a local page where Google can actually scrape that data, and you will see some on local stuff, you will see some Facebook data popping up on Google, but it needs to be shared, it needs to be open, and it needs to be public. And the reality is that there's always the law of diminishing returns, right? When you go that route, unless you're actually actively trying to do Facebook for SEO purposes, or not even for SEO purposes, but for traffic purposes, the reality is that today, and now that I'm, you know, like, I don't know, 12, 13 hours a day on Facebook ads and tweaking, you know, kind of going there and poking the Facebook algorithm and see that works. The reality is that Facebook is becoming more and more a pay-to-play space, right? So I wouldn't even want it to be there if I'm using any kind of tools. So,
sure.
All right, so we have the last question from Mark, and I know that there are some delays. So if you have some questions, go ahead and put them over there. And yeah, the link is over there. Is masterepr.com/SociBlitz. You get access to the 7-day trial for $1. Go ahead and give it a shot. And then it's super inexpensive. You know, it's a really valuable tool to have it in your arsenal. And you also get the 497 bonus for free as well. Mark is asking, how many Twitter accounts per proxy? What would you recommend, Abbas?
Okay, with myself, then I'm actually fortunate enough to have quite a few proxies. I've got over 200 unique proxies, and I haven't managed to have over 200 Twitter accounts yet. So, so far I've been using one Twitter account per proxy, but I don't see why there's going to be any issues for having 2 Twitter accounts from the one proxy. As long as we're keeping all sessions and cookies and everything totally separate, which SociBlitz is going to be doing for you. It's just like having, like, for example, me being from my home, having my Twitter account, and my wife having her Twitter account, using the same IP, but she's using her computer, I'm using my computer, or mobile devices, or whatever device we're going to be using. So, you know, even 2, even 3 might be totally fine to get by. My only advice to you would be, if you are going to have multiple accounts on the same proxy, then just manage the time zones. so that you don't have the same accounts running at exactly the same time. In fact, even if they are running at exactly the same time, it's not going to be crossing over any sessions or any cookies or anything. So it's not going to be linking the accounts. The only thing that Twitter will know is that, you know what, there's 2 actively running accounts coming from this one IP, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't think that you're going to have any issues working with 2, maybe even 3. But I don't personally have that experience, because if you have a look at my proxies, every single one of them are unique. If I took you over to my VPS and I open up SociBlitz there, you'll see I've only got like something like 90 or 100 and something accounts of Twitter accounts that I'm working with. But the cool thing is that every proxy that you're going to have, you're going to be able to use that same proxy on other social accounts as well. So you'll be able to use it on Twitter and on Tumblr and on Pinterest. And if you're working with YouTube, then on YouTube. I mean, we've got another product as well called Video Marketing Blitz. And one of the reasons I have so many proxies is because I use proxies for Video Marketing Blitz. I use exactly the same proxies for these accounts as well. And a lot of other stuff that I do, I use exactly the same proxies as well. So it is a good idea to get hold of some proxies. If you've already got some proxies, then you're well on your way to get going. If not, then you know what, and you want to add some more accounts, then maybe start off with 2, see how it goes, add another one, see how it goes. And you know what, maybe even do some searches on some black hat forums from users that do have experience with working with multiple accounts with the same proxy, just to understand how they're getting around this as well. But personally, I don't have any experience, but with the experience that I do have with other social accounts, then you know what, 2 or 3 accounts on the same proxy shouldn't be a problem.
All right, pretty cool.
Good advice. Yeah. I've got a couple of quick questions, if you don't mind, Abbas.
Yeah, sure.
There's some really nice stuff in there, by the way. I like that Twitter wheel idea. That's really cool. Being able to DM new users when they follow you, that's a really nice feature coming up. You talked about scraping Twitter followers of specific accounts. Could you show us what you would then do with that list that you'd scrape?
Yeah. So let me just go over to Twitter and I'll show you exactly what I mean. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to need to.
Sorry,
here we go. No, it's okay. I just want to log into Twitter because we need to be logged in order to actually see what I mean. So this is my Twitter account. It's only I hardly ever use my Twitter account. I've got like 233 followers. In fact, let's go over to this account here. This guy here, he's probably very, very active in the SEO industry. If you have a look at his Twitter account, you can see straight away he's got like, he's making tweets, he's getting retweets, he's getting activity, he's getting engagement. Well, maybe not too much engagement, but he is getting some engagement. And the idea is to find accounts that have a lot of engagement on them. What this allows you to see is that, all these followers that they have are probably not robots or probably not being created by robots, and they're probably real users. What you can do then is you just take this URL and you add it inside of the harvester, and the harvester will go ahead and you can tell the harvester, I want to go ahead and scrape all 81,000 or 81.6 thousand followers of this person. What this allows you to do is, because you've selected this user and you know that this user is very active in the SEO niche, you know that his followers are probably going to be very active and they're going to be interested in SEO as well. So when you've got a group inside of SociBlitz, for example, I've got this group here, SEO1. What I can do now is I can go over to edit group and I can load the list of followers that I've scraped that are all from this user's account, knowing that all of the followers that I'm going to be following are all interested, basing the assumption on them following somebody that's, probably an authority in the niche that you're looking to work with. So yeah, all you have to do is find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, however many authority figures you want in the SEO industry. Go ahead, scrape their followers. So, I mean, you've got Rand Fiskin here. I can go and scrape all of his 404,000 followers, and then I can go ahead and have all of my accounts follow those followers. And you know what? We're going to get followers that are going to follow us back. Ones that don't follow us back, we can start unfollowing them. And you know what? We can do this a number of times, and that just allows us to really build those niche specific accounts.
Right. Oh, that's nice. So it becomes really targeted to that niche.
Exactly.
By using that trick. Yeah. And the other thing I was wondering was, do you have any training on scraping those expired accounts?
On the expired Twitter accounts, I don't actually have any training, but we actually use Scrapebox. So we're not using the Harvester for that. The Harvester doesn't have any scraping features for expired accounts, but yeah.
Okay, so you would just recommend Scrapebox for that. That's cool.
Yeah, just Scrapebox or anyone else that provides a service. I mean, in fact, you know what? I think we've actually got a list at the moment of over like, I don't know, maybe, several thousands of authority Tumblr accounts. We actually have a service which you might be aware of, Chris, SociBlitz as well, that uses Tumblr. So we're constantly scraping, and if any of our users were after any high authority Tumblr accounts, then maybe we could put a really good deal together for them as well.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was about to mention that, Abbas, and the fact that you can always go out, for example, for expired Twitter, you can always go out to a forum or whatever and buy a couple, buy, I don't know, 20 expired Twitter accounts with interest and whatnot. But yeah, the Tumblr thing is pretty cool to have that in mind.
I mean, I don't know if I got it running on my server at the moment. On my VPS, I can take a quick look.
That might be easier for people to just buy them.
No, okay, it's actually, I think this was just a very small scrape here, scraping up there. But yeah, it's very, very simple to work with Tumblr and to scrape the expired accounts. And you know what, if you've got proxies, they work great. If you've got reverse proxies, they work even better. And if you haven't got anything and you want help, then reach out and we'll be more than happy to help as well.
Perfect.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I see some people commenting. Tons of cool feature stories. So anyway, guys, this is have in mind that this is a limited promotion for all of you guys that are live. Thank you for watching this. For all of you guys that are watching the replay, have that in mind. Okay, this is a limited promotion, so I would suggest that you go ahead and take action by going to masterypr.com/SociBlitz. Again, there's no risk. All you need to pay is $1 for 7 days, and if you love it, you keep it. And you also get access to the bonus website as well. And this is a completely like a limited promotion for Mastery PR and Semantic Mastery only that you cannot get anywhere else. All right. So I think we should be good to wrap this up. I want to thank you once again, Abbas, for taking the time and being here with us and telling the guys how this works. And do you have any parting words that you want to tell the guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me as well. It's the very first time I've actually presented SociBlitz. I've never done it live as well. So if I was a little bit rusty or if there were any problems, with my presentation, then I do apologize and I ask you to pardon me. But other than that, I can honestly say that I'm very optimistic about SociBlitz's future. And if you guys do, take part and start and really do take action, then what you see here is our real accounts that started with 0 followers and everything, and SociBlitz has done all of the magic. If you have a look at the sales page, you'll see exactly how we're able to get instant traffic on demand using these accounts. It's just like having an email list, being able to email out to your email list and getting your notice across. So yeah, I can really see this being a very big asset to anyone's business who does take this up. Other than that, I'm really happy to have the opportunity to present this.
Thanks, Abbas. I really appreciate you letting us share it with our list.
You're more than welcome.
And I can't wait to see what comes next. I mean, it's a really cool tool already, but I'm really excited to see what you've got planned.
Brilliant.
Thanks a lot.
We've got a lot.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you once again for being here with us today. And yeah, go ahead to masterypr.com/SociBlitz. Get your free trial. And we'll see you guys next time. So thank you guys once again, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.